friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Rosemary, and in this channel you will find plant-based, delicious, yummy food that you and your family can enjoy. So today we're going to be making some cranberry walnut scones. So it's starting to get a little cooler out, you know, it's October, the holidays are coming up. So I decided to, I want to make something that kind of replicates the holiday. And cranberries, for me at least, coming from New York, and walnuts always hits the spot, and something that reminds me of the seasonal weather, you know. So it's also something that my husband Jimmy loves. He loves scones. So any type of scone he can get his hands on, he loves it with a nice hot cup of coffee. So let me show you guys what the ingredients are to go into this recipe, all right? Check it out. In a bowl, add 2 cups of organic all-purpose flour, a half a cup of organic sugar. Definitely need the sugar. The zest of 1 lemon, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Make sure you sift it. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Sift that as well. And a good pinch of salt. Give that a stir. Okay, so now that we have all our dry ingredients whisked together, we're going to add the wet ingredients, okay? So first we're gonna take our vegan cream cheese, and we're also gonna take some coconut oil, and make sure your coconut oil is pretty much solidified like that. So you don't want it to be melted, all right? So that you can cut it in, because when you cut it in, it's gonna make your scones more flakier and more tender, okay? So let's cut in the 2 ingredients here. You put that in, and you can do it at the same time, because they both have a fat content. So use the back of your fork, and you can also get in here and use your hands as well. I prefer using a fork at first, because you want to make it crumbly, almost the size of a little bit smaller than a pea. All right, so once you get it pretty much broken down like that, you're gonna add your honey, some raw honey to it, okay? Now, if you're a vegan who does not eat honey, I understand that. So you could add a little bit of agave nectar, the same amount. However, it won't be as sweet, but the honey gives it a specific flavor, sweetness, but it'll still taste yummy, okay? Let's grab our next ingredient. Actually, before we add the honey, let's add our cranberries and our walnuts so that the flour can kind of dust it, then everything can adhere together, and I can kind of control it a little better. So let's just do that. So what we have is a half a cup of cranberries. These are sweetened cranberries. You can use unsweetened cranberries, but Jimmy likes them to be sweetened, and I cut them up some. So chop them up like kind of a rough chop to break them up throughout the batter. And then we have a 1/4 cup of walnuts chopped as well. Just get that stirred in. This way it can get in there evenly. Now we're going to add our honey, okay? So we're going to add a 1/4 cup of honey, or your agave nectar. And just kind of move that around a little bit. Not to over stir it, because you want to keep those flaky pieces of coconut oil and that vegan cream cheese in there. All right, let's get our vanilla. Let's do a teaspoon of vanilla. Just kind of scatter that around. And so we're going to add some nut milk. And first, let me stir up this vanilla a little bit. When we add our nut milk, we're going to do like roughly eyeballing it, 1 tablespoon at a time, to get you to about 1/4 cup, okay? You may need less, you may need more, all depend on the humidity in the air, wherever you're located at. But I found that about 1/4 cup works, but still do it gently, a little bit at a time. So let's get that. We can just use the same cup as we use for the honey. Okay, so just kind of like sprinkle some around a little bit. maybe use half of that first and then stir it. Because you don't want it to be mushy, you know. You want it to have so that can be nice and tender. So lightly fold that in. And you want it to just stick together. Maybe a little bit more. Probably another tablespoon or so. That looks about right. Yeah, that's the consistency you're looking. Okay, about like that. All right, now we're gonna shape them into some scones real fast. Okay, so let me go grab another measuring cup. I usually like to use a standard size ice cream scoop, but I don't have one right now. So I'll show you how to do it with a regular measuring cup. Okay, let me grab that. Be sure to line a baking sheet with some parchment paper, and while shaping your scones, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius, all right? So we're going to shape our scones. You can use, I'm using a 1/3 cup measure because I have smaller pans. You can use a 1/2 cup measure. Usually I like to use a standard a standard ice cream scoop. Just makes a perfect round scone, but either way it's gonna work no matter what size you use or how you make them. So I'm gonna try this. Make sure you get your cranberries and everything in there. Pop that out. So I like to push it down a little bit, because these really get super huge. So since my pan is so small, I think I might just put 3 on this pan and 3 on the other pan. All right, so I already shaped our scones, and I got 6 scones out of it, large scones, and I know these puff up really big, and there was enough to make 1 more medium-sized scone. So I'd say we get about 7 good-sized scones out of it. All right, so we're gonna put it in the oven, and I'll let you know how it comes out when we're all done. So we're gonna bake those for about 15 to 20 minutes and check on them. And if it needs more time, we'll add like 5 minutes at a time. But you wanna make sure they're like nice and fluffy and a little bit brown on them, all right? So we'll be right back. All right, my friends, so we got 6.5 scones out of it. So I have this little tiny guy right here. However, these are some, look at this, the scone's as big as my hand. And when you make them, you don't have to press them down per se as much, but that's okay. I mean, scones can be any size you want them to be. So I think that you can also do even a half of the amount I put if you want a smaller scone, of course. But we're gonna try, let's try the small one. All right, see what it tastes like. This is still hot. The small one is still kind of hot. Oh gosh, this smells so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So warm. Okay, you gotta try this one. I know I say it all the time, but seriously, the cranberry and the walnuts in that, it is amazing. Oh wow, and it's just the right amount of sweetness. I would even, if you want it to be sweeter, you can do like a little glaze over it with some powdered sugar and some milk and mix that together and do a little glaze on it to make it look cute, you know? But either way, these are fantastic and I love them. So anyway, I'm gonna let you go so I can finish my scone. I thank you for watching this video today. And if you like this video and you want to see more like this, subscribe to the channel. What are you waiting for? I know you've been watching some of my videos, so I expect for you to subscribe and join the family. Why not? Okay, guys? Anyway, I'm Rosemary, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.